So let's say this was a game that had 7 lead changes. Sorry, 7. I can see that. There we go. 7 lead changes, and just seemed like a momentum shifting play. And you mentioned late in the first half, Penn State's up 14-10. Purdue's driving. Aiden O'Connell's hitting receivers in stride. It seems like at the very least, they're going to kick a field goal. Penn State will be up 1, or maybe they score a touchdown. They're up 4 at the half. But Zakee Wheatley forcing that fumble, getting that fumble recovery. And then a couple plays later, Cliff hits Brent Strange down the sideline for a touchdown. And all of a sudden, it's 21-10 Penn State going to the half. And, at that point, I'm thinking, like, all right, this is better than I thought it would be. They're in business. And then, of course, you see Cliff's on the sidelines to start the second half. Drew Allar comes in. An hour has Mose look good, but then Cliff comes back in and clearly does not look like he did in the first half. And things you're kind of getting that deja vu from the Iowa game last year. You just feel the game slipping away. But unlike that Iowa game, of course, it just seems out of nowhere. When you least expected it, Cliff just came up. I guess when he absolutely had to, he came up with a couple clutch drives, clutch throws, like to Kendrick Smith for a touchdown. And then even after the pick 6, which at the time seemed like, that was the backbreaker. He goes on to lead that game-winning drive in the final minute. So I kind of liken it to, in basketball, you have it's like if Steph Curry just, can't hit the broadside of a barn. Like maybe he goes 2 for 20 shooting threes on a night. But you know what? One of those 2 shots he makes turns out to be like the game-winning 3. So maybe a rough night at times, but you know what? You see that stat line going around though. On paper, he's 20 for 37, 4 touchdown passes, also ran for a touchdown. So he accounted for 5. He accounted for all 5 of Penn State's touchdowns tonight. So you do have to tip your cap to Cliff where it's due. As much as, you and I were criticized and others were criticizing him in the Slack channel. And of course, don't get me started on Penn State Twitter. I mean, that was a crap show. I know this is an after dark show, but I'm still trying to keep things PG on here. But, Penn State Twitter was definitely melting down when Cliff was struggling and after seeing what Drew Allar was capable of. Marty, just walk us through like how you were feeling throughout the game, just with all the momentum swings going on.
I mean, like I said earlier, I never felt worried in the first half at all, even when Purdue was leading. And then when Penn State made 21-10 in halftime, like, all right, they got this. They're going to cruise to victory. Remember one of those games, Purdue makes it, pull within 7, pull within 5. I never truly feel close. And yeah, true. Obviously, that's not what happened when Purdue took a lead late in the fourth quarter and just when Purdue, even when Purdue made it 28-24, I was not feeling good. Largely because Penn State's offense could not do anything at all, it seemed at the time. And then when the Boilermakers got the interception off Sean Clifford, it made it 31-28. It was like, oh boy, here we go. We've seen this before. And like you said, Tim, that Iowa game last year is a great comparison. I saw a lot of people make that comparison. To the extent I felt it, it was like, oh shit, here we go again. On the road, Big Ten West opponent, you get a double-digit lead, you make it seem like you're going to just absolutely blow them out, roll, and next thing you know, you're in for a dogfight and you wind up losing. And for a lot of the night, it seemed like the way it was going to go. And to the credit of the Penn State offense, it did not. They rallied, they got the win, and that's what matters. They're 1-0. It wasn't pretty, but it was a victory. And you get ready for Ohio next week, like we talked about. Might be the easiest game on the schedule. And then you're with that trip to Auburn. If you can go down to Auburn and win, you're probably looking at a 5-0 start. And yeah, you're right there at that point. But yeah, it's weird to me because if you're a Penn State fan, I can understand the optimism right now. I can also understand the pessimism right now. It's a strange time to be a Penn State fan, but hey, we're 1-0. We're 1-0. Let's enjoy it until next Saturday.